Welcome back to Libcast, the library podcast, hosted by the Library, University of Kelaniya, Sri Lanka.
Hello, and welcome to Libcast, the library podcast that explores the intersection of information, technology, and learning. You're listening to our Neural Nexus Daily series, where we unpack the latest developments in artificial intelligence and what they mean for us. Today, we're diving into a story that perfectly captures the seismic shift happening in education and the job market. Imagine a skill so in demand that enrollments for it are growing at a rate of 12 people every single minute. That skill is generative AI, and according to the newly released Coursera 2025 Global Skills Report, we are in the middle of a global AI gold rush. Let's start with the headline number. Enrollments in generative AI courses on the platform have exploded by 195% globally in just the past year. It's a clear signal that learners everywhere are scrambling to master AI, and it's forcing higher education to rapidly rethink how it prepares students for the future. The most astonishing growth comes from Latin America, which has seen a staggering 425% increase in GenAI enrollments. Universities from Mexico to Peru are not just adding an AI course here and there. They are redesigning entire degrees and partnering with tech platforms to deliver AI skills at scale. And India has now taken the lead with the most GenAI course enrollments of any country, surpassing 1.3 million. As Coursera's CEO Greg Hart notes, it's a powerful example of online learning creating a level playing field in emerging technologies. To make sense of this, the report introduces a fascinating new tool, the AI Maturity Index. It ranks countries on their ability to foster AI skills. And the leaders might surprise you. At the top are Singapore, Denmark, and Switzerland, with the United States coming in at number 4. What sets these leaders apart isn't just interest, but strategy. Singapore systematically embeds AI and digital literacy into its core university programs. Denmark excels through powerful partnerships between government, academia, and industry to reskill its workforce. And Switzerland uses a collaborative model blending university research with corporate internships. This is a key lesson. It's not enough to have demand. Nations in the Middle East, for example, have seen enrollment spikes over 300%, but their universities are struggling to keep up with course offerings and faculty training. There's a disconnect between public enthusiasm and institutional readiness. Now, beyond AI, the report's main global skills ranking, which looks at business, tech, and data science, is overwhelmingly dominated by European nations. Switzerland, the Netherlands, and Sweden take the top spots. Interestingly, major English-speaking countries lag behind in this overall ranking. The UK is 22nd, Australia 23rd, and the US is 27th. They perform better on the specific AI Maturity Index, but it highlights a broader skills gap. The data also reveals a massive trend towards what are called micro-credentials. Enrollments in professional certificates grew by 32% last year. These shorter, industry-recognized credentials are in high demand. The report shows they are most impactful when they are embedded directly into degree programs, leading to higher completion rates and better job outcomes for graduates. And we're seeing a powerful synergy emerge. As companies race to innovate with AI, they also face new digital threats. Unsurprisingly, cybersecurity course enrollments are also surging, especially in Latin America, which saw a 129% jump. The most forward-thinking countries are now designing curricula that combine AI and cybersecurity, aiming to create graduates who can both build digital innovation and defend it. But here's a critical question the report forces us to ask. What do these numbers really mean? Around 75% of Coursera's skills ranking is based on external socioeconomic data from sources like the World Bank. Does a country's human capital index genuinely reflect what its citizens are learning online? And more importantly, does completing an online course translate into a better job? Without solid data on graduate employability, salary changes, and entrepreneurship, the rankings risk being superficial. The report also gives us a snapshot of the modern learner. The average age is 34, showing the rise of lifelong learning. And while women now make up 46% of the learner base, they are still underrepresented in key fields like GenAI, where they account for only 30% of enrollments. The report urges universities to actively close this gap with targeted scholarships and mentorship. So, what's the final takeaway from this global data deep dive? Professor Francesca Lockhart from the University of Texas at Austin puts it perfectly. She says, employer demand for skills-based hiring requires educators to prioritize skills-based learning. We must adapt our curricula to prepare students for a job market where desired qualifications are shifting too quickly for traditional education to keep pace. This report isn't just a collection of statistics, it's a wake-up call for higher education globally. The race for AI competency is on, but winning requires more than just high enrollment numbers. It demands strategic planning, embedding skills into degrees, measuring real-world outcomes, and ensuring no one gets left behind. That's all the time we have for today on Neural Nexus Daily. Thanks for tuning into Libcast. Join us next time as we continue to explore our rapidly changing world of information.
And that brings us to the end of this episode of Libcast. Thank you so much for tuning in and spending your valuable time with us today. We hope this conversation has sparked your curiosity and given you something new to think about. We're incredibly proud to be Sri Lanka's first ever university library podcast, brought to you by the team here at the Library of the University of Kelaniya. Our goal is to keep bringing you insightful discussions, stories, and knowledge. If you enjoyed this episode, please help us grow by following us. You can find Libcast on all major podcast platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podcast Guru, Podchaser, Amazon Music, and wherever else you get your podcasts. Until next time, keep reading, keep learning, and stay curious.